My name is Dr. Susan Pierce Thompson. And if you heard me interviewed on TV or some podcast or something, they would introduce me with all kinds of fancy credentials. PhD in Brain and Cognitive Sciences, president of the Institute for Sustainable Weight Loss, New York Times bestselling author, adjunct associate professor of Brain and Cognitive Sciences at the University of Rochester. But I know that my credentials, what qualifies me to stand here and talk to you, is that I understand. I get it. I'm not some constitutionally thin person who's been thin her whole life telling you how to eat or how to be healthy or what it takes to live happy, thin, and free. I spent most of my life struggling with my food. And when I found a way out of that struggle, it was the biggest miracle of my life by far. I did happen to kick crack cocaine addiction when I was a teenager. Food was harder. Without a doubt, food was harder. And when I look back to my food, weight, struggle, my life, when it comes to food and weight, I see that it's gone through 5 phases. In the first phase, I had no solution, and I was just trying everything desperately. I ran a marathon. I did therapy. I did group therapy. I did hypnotherapy. I went to 12-step programs. I joined gyms and exercised. I hired trainers. I bought books, lots of books, and read them and started new plans. I made a New Year's resolution to lose weight every single year for decades. I did everything I could think of to lose weight, and nothing helped. My weight kept climbing and climbing and climbing until in my mid-20s I was obese. And then when I was 28, something worked. And I lost 60 pounds in 6 months, went from a size 16 to a size 4. And I got my first experience of living happy, thin, and free. And that started phase 2, where I had a solution, but I was afraid. I was afraid that if I took one step off the path, I would crash and burn and regain all my weight. And funny enough, I did. That fear became a self-fulfilling prophecy. I ate one bite of food off my plan, and that led to a binge, which led to another binge, and I couldn't find my way out of that hole for 3 months. And not only did I regain all my weight, but I regained more. I went from a size 4 to a size 24 in 3 months. And then I got it back together, finally, restarted, and it finally stuck. And that started a long phase, like a bit of a golden age for me, where for years and years and years and years, I just followed the plan. The Bright Line Eating Plan. It wasn't called that then. I was in a 12-step program for food addiction, but I just followed it. And I spent years upon years not eating a bite off my plan. I didn't live in a lot of fear, but I just kept my life small enough that I was safe. And then the calling came to write the book, Bright Line Eating, in my morning meditation, and my life suddenly exploded and got really big and really busy. And that entered me into phase 4, where I didn't have the tools and resources anymore to juggle it all. And I went through 3 years and 3 months of falling off the wagon over and over and over again and getting to experience what it takes to resume. And I was going through it, and I was also watching it and experimenting and researching and learning. And over time, I emerged into phase 5, where I live today. Happy, thin, and free, with enough resources to meet whatever life dishes out, able to live as big a life as I want, and with cycles that are smooth, no crash and burn, and well above the danger and destruction zone of desperation, loneliness, isolation. I live today in a body that feels good, not because I'm a bikini model or ever will be, but because I feel comfortable in my skin. My battle scars are mine, and I run free. I play with my kids. I rock up to anything, the party or the beach or the event, and feel fine with how I look. Not really worried about how I look. I enjoy my family and my friends and the company I keep. I travel. I sleep. I eat. I meditate. I pack up my food and head out for the day. I feel blessed and grateful. There is no part of me that's waiting for my life to begin. It's here. Life is now. My mood is high and stable. Sometimes I get down and frustrated and, like I'm a human. But the crushing depression that I used to experience, no, I don't have that anymore. I feel right-sized, good about that. And most importantly, I'm free. I'm free from food obsession, and I'm free from the fear that if I take one step off the path, I'm gonna flail and crash and burn and maybe never get it back. I'm not afraid of regaining weight. If I go up a few pounds, I know how to take them off. It ain't no thing. I'm free. And I also happen to be a member of the Bright Line Eating community, this amazing global community that we've created in just a few short years with people all over the world in literally more than 100 countries who are doing the Bright Line Eating program and living happy, thin, and free. And I've been teaching them how to resume all along. I have a lot of skill in teaching people how to resume. But through the gauntlet that I've experienced, through the 3 years and 3 months of falling off and getting back on, falling off and getting back on, I have developed a system, the Free Again system, for resuming in a way that inoculates you from the crash and burn, living your life in a way that keeps you cushioned and safe and protected from the danger and destruction zone, that horrible pit of not knowing whether you can ever succeed at this weight and food thing. And I've built that system into a course. And in this video, I want to tell you about that course. Okay, before I launch into the nuts and bolts of what this course involves, I actually want to tell you a little bit about who it's for. Who did I design this course for? And in order to tell you about that, I need to tell you about who it's not for. This course is not for everybody. Nothing that we do here at Bright Line Eating is for everybody. This course is not for you if you primarily want to improve your health in some other way, like you want to become a regular meditator or a regular exerciser or something and sort of get inoculated against starting it and then falling off the wagon. If that's the case for you, what I recommend is that you rewatch maybe the 3 videos in this series, the ones that came before this one, and just take notes, learn the system, the framework, the theory, and apply that theory to that other domain. This course is also not for you if you want to lose weight and get free from food obsession, but you're at the very beginning of your Bright Line Eating journey. I'm sorry about that. The Reboot Rezoom course is really going to assume a basic familiarity with Bright Line Eating principles. So if you have done the boot camp before, Reboot Rezoom is for you. If you've been doing Bright Line Eating for quite a while and you got your background from the 14-day challenge plus the book and the weekly vlogs and you're months and months in, and either now or in the past you've had a solid Bright Line Eating program that you either want to deepen now or get back to and figure out how to resume and get back on track, Bright Line Eating is for you. But if you're new to Bright Line Eating, in the first month or 2 of your journey, maybe brand new or just did the 14-day challenge, the Bright Line Eating Bootcamp is the course that paves the fundamentals. And since I know that you might be disappointed to be told right now that Reboot Rezoom isn't your course, I've been thinking about that, and I have an amazing bonus package for you if you decide to hop into the bootcamp right now. That bonus package includes 3 things. This package will never be offered again. It's never been offered before. It includes a Reboot Rezoom bonus module, because if you've been following along with the Reboot Rezoom system and you're excited about it and you love the idea of being inoculated against future crashes and burns, I'm going to put into this bonus module a perspective on the Reboot Rezoom system that is for you as you start your journey with the bootcamp. I haven't actually been sharing that perspective in these videos. In this bonus module, I will. The second special bonus is 2 group coaching calls with me. Now, I don't do bootcamp coaching calls anymore, but for you, I will. And then finally, the third bonus is going to be a webinar toward the end of your bootcamp experience on the 10 key lessons from Reboot Resumers. So you'll be in your bootcamp while the first round of Reboot Resume is going on, and I'm going to be polling those Reboot Resumers and asking them, what do you wish someone had told you when you were coming out of your bootcamp? What is a lesson that you have learned, it's been hard won, and if someone could tell you as you were coming out of your bootcamp, you would have been so grateful. So that webinar is going to come to you right at that critical juncture as you end your bootcamp. And of course, Reboot Resume will be available for you in the future. And the Reboot Resume course is for our experienced bright line eaters. So that wraps up our discussion of who this course is not for. This course isn't for you if you fundamentally want to get healthy in some other way, meditation or exercise or something, or if you're brand new on your bright line eating journey. So that leaves the question of what is this course and who is it for? This course is the course that takes you, my beloved bright liner, my bright lifer, my bright line eater, to a place of happy, thin, and free forever, inoculated against the crash and burn, whether it's ever happened to you or you're just afraid of it in the future. So if you're a crystal vaser and you've never broken your bright lines, we call crystal vasers, we'll put that in quotes, no cracks, no chips so far at all. One thing this course will do for you is it will help to ease that fear that you might have of ever stepping off the path and then binging so hard or floundering so profoundly that you never get it back. Because you can be inoculated against that scenario, and this course will inoculate you. It will also give you incredibly concrete tools to shore up your program, whether your ebbs and flows have to do with your meditation practice or your journaling practice or your support that maybe is not as shored up as it could be. This course will be a different lens through which to look at how to make your foundation even stronger and how to be more aware of the cycles that you're already going through, including the cycles with your food and the cycles with your habits and the cycles with your support. Because awareness and knowledge are power. And this system that I'm going to be teaching you, this course, is going to make your program nothing but rock solid and ever stronger. And what about if you've been doing bright line eating and your lines have not been perfectly bright since the beginning? What if you've fallen off track? Well, this is your course. It is time to resume. There are all kinds of ways that breaks can show up, right? Maybe you've had a few minor breaks and you want to strengthen your program so that you can feel ever more free. Maybe you're in a cycle of breaking, of quantities, of bites, licks, and tastes, of struggling with alcohol, that NMD. For those who don't know, that's not my drink. Of grabbing handfuls of food after a meal, eating between meals, snacking. engaging in all these behaviors that leave you feeling incomplete, not free, not living to your fullest potential, not getting out of bright line eating what you so want to get out of it, which is that feeling of automaticity and liberation. Maybe you had a feeling of automaticity and freedom in the past that you want to get back, and you find yourself in a rut that you want to get out of. Reboot, Rezoom is for you. And if you've been living in the ditch, like really off track, if you've been gaining back weight, if you found yourself sitting right now in a place of despair and isolation that feels so black and so complete that you don't really believe that you can ever succeed, Reboot, Rezoom is exactly for you. Okay, so what's in the course itself? Well, the entire Reboot, Rezoom course has been carefully designed to take you from where you are now to living happy, thin, and free forever and inoculated against the crashes and burns of that painful merry-go-round cycle. It's designed to smooth off the edges and raise it all up, raise those cycles up, so that when you cycle through little periods of, things not going as well and feeling a little off track, you're nowhere close to crashing into the danger and destruction zone. It's 66 days, which might seem a little quirky, but the reason for that is that it's scientifically proven that it takes an average of 66 days to take a new habit or action or behavior and make it feel automatic. And that's what we're about around here, is the freedom that comes from full automaticity. Now, woven through those entire 66 days is a process for piercing the perfectionist bubble. Because that's really the crux of the issue, right? When we're holding on so tight and it's got to be perfect or we're giving up altogether. So I have a system for piercing the perfectionist bubble, and it's going to be in operation every day of those 66 days. Piercing that bubble takes practice, and I'm going to help you practice so that you're inoculated against the crash. There's going to be modules on the science of food and actions and support, the FAS of the Free Again system. So if you want to learn more about the psychology and neuroscience of how eating differently changes your brain, of how taking certain specific actions, including around meditation, including around gratitude, and also the science of habits in general, and how actions turn into habits and habits turn into automaticity, and the S for support. So there's going to be information on the science, the neuroscience, of how connection with other people changes not just our brains, but literally our gene expression to make us healthier, to boost our immune systems, to change our vagus nerve, which affects our heart and our lungs in all kinds of interesting ways. And of course, yes, changes our brain to adapt us for more human connection and to be happier, healthier, less isolated, less stressed. It's just amazing science. So I got a lot to share with you in the science modules, and those will be part of the Reboot, Rezoom course. You'll also get the measure and monitor module, because what gets measured gets managed. But what I really want is for you to find a way of tracking your bright line eating journey that works best for you. And that's what you'll get in the measure and monitor module. Of course, there will be an online support community. This is something that we're famous for here at Bright Line Eating, is creating the most loving, connected, fantabulous online support community ever. And there will be weekly coaching calls, so that if you have questions in a group format, you can bring your tailored, specific questions, whether you just have a little tweak or you're totally floundering and you need someone to give you a complete reframe. Bring it to me and my trained coaches on the weekly group coaching call, and we got your back. Of course, the calls are all recorded and you can listen to them anytime at your convenience. And if you need coaching but you can't be on a specific call live, you can send in your question in advance and we will answer it on the call for you and you can listen later. We're very careful to set the times of those calls with international time zones in mind. So no matter where you live, we're thinking of you and you're taken care of. Now, all of this and more is going to be woven into a daily program of action so that I take your hand and walk you step by step, done for you, from wherever you're at right now, exactly through the process of pouring that foundation, understanding the reframe of Reboot, Rezoom, and living happy, thin, and free forever. So that's an amazing course structure, but I know that we've got folks with all kinds of specific concerns, and I've got 5 amazing bonuses to tell you about that we have added to this course to make it even better. The first bonus is the food prep time saver system. Because here's the thing, there's lots of different methods over the course of a day and a week of prepping your food. And some are inherently more efficient and overall save you time. So this bonus is going to lay out your options and then make it clear if you have a really busy life, which food prep system is going to work best for you. Also, some systems are more robust in the face of life stress. So if you have a really busy life or you're going through a really stressful emotional time, this bonus will help you adapt your food prep system to make sure that you make it through that time unscathed. The second bonus I created because I was thinking to myself, what if as this course is unfolding, someone falls off the wagon and then pulls back and feels like the course is going on without them. And they've lost some time and now they don't know how to get back on track again. I wanted to create a roadmap for them to get back on track into the course. So I created the Rezoom roadmap. And it's not just one Rezoom roadmap, it's actually 4. Because it matters what kind of break you just had. So the first Rezoom roadmap is if something really tiny just happened, like I just had a little blip. That is a particular type of instance where with the right coaching and the right guidance, right then you can get seamlessly back on track as if it ain't no thing. The second one is the Rezoom roadmap for right now. If you've just had a break and it feels kind of major, it's to inoculate you against the what the hell effect, which is actually the scientific term, believe it or not, for when you've had a break and then you use that to license a full-on blowout. If we catch that one in time, the Rezoom roadmap for right now will protect you against the what the hell effect. The third Rezoom roadmap gets you back on track if you've been breaking your lines in the same way for a long time, gradually but profoundly eroding your integrity. And oftentimes, it comes to us in a flash of awareness that we've been doing this. Sometimes we don't even necessarily realize that we've been doing this for a while. Sometimes we're well aware, and maybe you're coming into this course with this situation. So the Rezoom roadmap to get you back on track if you've been breaking your lines consistently for a long time will get you back into that state of integrity, feeling solid again. And finally, there's the Rezoom roadmap rescue for when you are fully off the road, in the ditch, painfully isolating, eating, binging, and it's been going on for a while. That's a particular form of hell that I know all too well, and I know how to sit there with you in it until you're ready to take my hand and walk back onto the road. Bonus number 3 is mindfulness meditation for beginners. If you have ever struggled setting up a meditation practice, this bonus has got you covered. Monique Rhodes, who has worked with the Dalai Lama and has created the meditation courses that colleges and universities around the world have been using and validating scientifically, has created a very simple course to teach you how to meditate. All you got to do is give us 10 minutes and we will get you launched. The 4th bonus is my custom successful support system. And I don't mean my custom, I mean your custom. Because here's the reality. Everybody's different when it comes to the support structure that will really most benefit them in their bright line eating journey. Some people are introverts, some people are extroverts. People have different preferences when it comes to technology and face-to-face. Some people like Facebook, some people don't. Some people like to text, some people like apps. It all depends. It all is varied. The reality is that the free again system absolutely depends on you finding access to support, methods of support, habits around support that work for you and that you will use. So you can use this bonus. It's actually a structured process of experimentation. And at the end of it, you will end up with a support system that truly works for you to keep you connected on your bright line eating journey. The 5th and final bonus is the Identify Your Isolator Masterclass. Included in this masterclass is a training with Everett Considine, the world's leading expert in the isolator, and how this part of us keeps us isolated from the support that we so need to thrive in life. The isolator is a part of us that, after we've fallen off track with our food, keeps us separate. It wants us to hide, it wants us to procrastinate and feel a little sneaky and be alone and separate so that we won't be judged or witnessed by anyone else in what we're doing with our food. We want to be alone so we can eat the way that we want to eat. At the end of this masterclass, you will know the difference between being alone in a way that nurtures and feeds your highest self because you're peaceful and you're refueling, versus isolating yourself from the support that you need to live happy, thin, and free, to check your thinking with other people, and to get back on track if you're in a little period of lapsing and needing to resume. So, by now you're probably wondering what the investment is for the course. Well, there's 2 ways to go through the information. You can hire a senior Brightline eating coach for $7,000 and have a one-on-one experience working your way through the material. Or you can sign up for the Reboot Rezoom course, and the investment for that is $497. Now, if you happen to already be a Bright Lifer, then as you know, you get best prices for everything. So your investment is $397. Now, either way, there's a 3-payment option. If you want that, you'll find that on the order form. But keep in mind that the best value is when you pay in full. So go ahead, click the button below, register for Reboot Resume. I can't wait to see you on the inside. Now, something else I want to mention. This is the first time I'm offering Reboot Resume. It's the end of the year. January 1st is upon us, 2019, and there's some benefit to you in this being the first time. One is that I'm going to be really involved in the delivery of this course. It's going to be a dialogue together, and I'm just going to be watching really closely. I'm invested in your success. There's going to be a huge thriving community of people doing Reboot Resume together. There's going to be a lot of people who are experienced Brightline eaters doing Reboot Resume, people who are Bright Lifers. I know personally that lots of our most successful Bright Lifers are planning to do this program because they want to learn the system even better and inoculate themselves against future breaks. So if you want to experience the Bright Line Eating community at its finest, this is absolutely the moment to hop into this course. But I need to mention that this course is starting fast. You need to register over the next few days. Registration closes January 3rd at the end of the day. And if you want to be starting on your day one by January 1st, you want to register even sooner. I know that a lot of people keep that date in mind. But this course has a start date. And so time is not your friend. TikTok, if you want to do this, you need to hop in because we are getting started. And one more thing. When you register, you'll also get a surprise bonus, which is my Crush Cravings course. So that if a craving hits, you will not be blindsided. You will know exactly what to do. Now, it's also really important to me that I make this a risk-free situation for you. So this course comes with a full and complete 30-day, 100% money-back guarantee. So 30 days from now, you will either be well on your way to living happy, thin, and free with a restored confidence and hope and weight melting off your body and gratitude for this new life that you're experiencing, or you'll have decided that Bright Line Eating isn't for you, or the Reboot Rezoom course isn't right for you, or it wasn't the right time, or for whatever reason, no hard feelings, no hassles, no explanations needed. We will be more than happy to refund your money and you'll be no worse off than you are right now. There is literally no risk. So I just gave you a lot of information. But ultimately, this course is not about what you get. It's not about stuff. It's not about information. It's about a transformational experience. It's about you wanting to change. It's about you having a feeling inside that it could be different, that you could be different. It's about that yearning, craving, desire, call to step up and be your best self, to do what it takes to live happy, thin, and free. Because the way it is right now isn't cutting it. And for some of us, that call, it just never goes away, no matter how many times we fail. We have this feeling that someday, somehow, we will figure out how to live free. Free of the food, free of the excess weight, free of the feeling of being stuck again, eating more differently than we planned, than we intended. Free to be healthy, free to live in a right-sized body. If you happen to be someone who right this minute doesn't think that that transformation is available for you, I just want to speak to you for a second. You know how when you haven't gotten enough sleep, like really not enough sleep, like an hour or two, and the next day you catch yourself feeling desperate and thinking certain people in your life or situations in your life are just horrible, awful, no good, very bad. And then you have this part of yourself that catches you and says, you know what? You didn't sleep last night. So why don't you get a good night's sleep and reevaluate the situation in the morning? Do you have that part, that voice that kind of catches you? I want to say that you right now are not in the best position to evaluate whether you can ever be successful. Because the days of desperation eating that way create a blackness that is not real, that I can walk you out of. I have sat in that blackness before, and it is amazing what taking a few simple actions in the company of people who know and understand can do to change that situation. So will you please just suspend judgment for a moment and consider that it might be possible? Get that good night's sleep. by clicking that button, joining me on the inside. And if you already believe it's possible, then rock on up, baby. Sign up for Reboot, Rezoom, and I will see you there.